Hello, everybody. Hope you guys are well prepared. If you live on the East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia, we may get some action coming up very shortly in a few days. Now, the reason why I have this video going is if for some reason you don't have the news, you don't have a paper, if you don't, maybe you just popped your head out from underneath a rock, be prepared that there is a huge hurricane coming your way, and it is name of Florence. We got some red flag warnings. It's a category 4 already, and it's going to be hitting pretty darn hard across the East Coast on North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. They don't have, right now they're modeling it as a kind of hitting South Carolina, going up through North Carolina. But with that said, they're not 100% confirmed on it. It could hit North Carolina and go up to Virginia. We got Razor JB out there, category 4, just said this could be historic, headed right towards us. Yes, it is. And I figured why not do a video, because that's what we do. We keep our 6 covered, right? If I put out a video and for some reason it saves somebody's life, I mean, what a great day, right? With that said, most of you guys are probably going to watch this after the video. I notice a lot of you guys are jumping on here already, but this could be a bad one. I got friends down in South Carolina. I got friends in Florida. They haven't said much about Florida, but definitely got friends in South Carolina and North Carolina, and a couple up in Virginia as well. We need to stay strong. We need to be ready and prepared for what's to come. If you live right along the ocean, you're looking at I think it's between 135 and 150 something mile-an-hour winds. They said that the water will rise about 15 to 20 feet. So if you're right up against the nice ocean view that is normally a very nice, pretty day, you may want to head for cover. And I'm not saying bugging in. I'm saying getting the hell out, because this storm is going to be nasty. We got Daniel out there. Thanks for showing up. Things to think about is some type of preps, right? This isn't so much a prepping channel. It's more of a shooting channel, but prepping is for real, right? It's not, is something ever going to happen? It's not the zombie apocalypse. It's hurricanes, it's tsunamis, it's, earthquakes, it's everything. It's anything and everything that can happen. And there's a lot of people out there that are buying water. There's a lot of people out there buying plywood. There's a lot of people being prepared. But with that said, all those people that live along the ocean that deal with this crap every year, shouldn't you already have the plywood cut for each window of your house? Basically, mounts already there. You just grab plywood 8 and you put it on window 8, and shouldn't all that shit already be done? So with that said, if you're running behind the power curve, my family and I are lucky enough that we are very inland from the ocean, but it's showing it pointed right at us here in Henderson County. So we're probably going to just end up with a bunch of rain. And a bunch of rain can be very chaotic. Luckily, we live in the mountains. But for the homes that are, depending on how they're set up, are probably going to get flooded as well. The streets will be closed. The stores will be empty. And if they're not already, especially right along the coast, if you live there, stop the video and go get some supplies. If you're right along the ocean, you're going to need to find a place to hide. Head to the hills, my friends. Head to the hills. Hopefully your preps and your preparations can go with you. And then just know that anything that you can buy at Home Depot, Walmart, all those big boxes, don't bring any of that shit, because you can always get it replaced with your insurance. If you're grabbing TVs and you're grabbing stuff like that, that's a waste of time, money, energy, and space in your vehicles. So don't do that. If you need real stuff, you're going to look for, hopefully you have all your pictures on a hard drive so you can replace those. Hopefully you got all your insurance paperwork and family photos and all that kind of stuff. The important stuff, the stuff that you cannot get at your local box stores. Razor JB saying that all grocery stores in the area around Raleigh out of water and everything. No generators at Home Depot or Lowe's. It's a madhouse since Saturday. And that brings up the question, if you live in those areas, why is everybody running out and doing that? Because we're not preparing. Hopefully, Razor JB sounds prepared. He's watching this video right now, so more than likely he's already way ahead of the game. He's got probably a generator and all the crap he needs to, you know, sit out the storm, basically. Yeah, go west. Definitely go west, Daniel says, and get a hotel room now. Definitely book that shit now because it's not going to be available. I know the last storm when Charleston got hit, South Carolina, there was a ton of people that came up north to the town I live in, and there's just not a lot of places to stay around here, which, you know, when you're trying to get all this figured out at the end, when you don't have any time left, the smart people already rented a hotel room. They already got all their gas prepared in cans and all that kind of stuff that they would have needed beforehand. And that's unfortunate for the people that are behind the power curve. But those of you that do prepare, here's another example of why you can tell your neighbors that they're idiots for not preparing. When they're scrambling around the last second, and there's a lot of stuff where as a man, you want to protect your house, right? You want to stay at your house. Well, being in the fire service 30 years, I've seen a lot of people that have wanted to protect their house from wildfires, and you know, they grab their garden hose and they get on the roof. And some houses have been saved, but more than likely, everybody's trying to do that same stuff. The water supply goes to shit, and nobody's really getting water, and then their house burns, and then we have to spend the extra energy and effort to try to keep these people alive now that they didn't evacuate. Same thing with a hurricane. You're putting yourself at risk, your family at risk. For what? For what? Right? Yes, you don't want your house to blow over. You don't want it to flood. You don't want it to do this. But at the end of the day, if you stay trying to be the macho man that we are, and now you're dead, the house flooded and blew over anyways, and your family is long gone because you're going to be the great dad. All right, kids, wife, head to the hills. I'm going to protect, you know, you guys need to be safe. I don't need to be safe because I'm a macho man. Well, at the end of the day, you're dead, and now your kids have no father. When a house can be rebuilt, the insurance can pay for it, so on and so forth. I know it's kind of a weird insurance. Do you have insurance? Can you even get insurance for a hurricane? So there's a lot of those factors too as well, but one man trying to save a home is not going to do shit. Preparing and getting it done prior to the storm, you know, boarding up the windows and all that kind of stuff and making sure all the drains are clear and so on and so forth. That's the stuff you do right now before the shit gets here. And then a couple days before it gets here, get your ass on the road and watch it from TV because you're not going to help anybody out. Let me jump back here and see what these guys are saying. My wife bitches and says I hoard. Now I'm looking and helping others and laughing at others. LOL, you all be safe. That's a great point. When you want something now, right now, because the storm's going to be here, your $300 generator probably just went to $500 and so on and so forth when it comes to that crap. Hey, V-Borg. Food, you know, we said, Razor JB said over by Raleigh, the water's already gone. You can't buy that at Home Depot. The generators are gone, so on and so forth. All that stuff you had all year. You had all year from last year. You knew it was going to happen again. It's going to happen this week. It's going to happen again and again and again and again unless you move, because that's what happens. It's hurricane time. So get it together. Do all the preps beforehand. have water on hand, have food on hand, all that stuff. Everybody runs out, especially where I live and all along the East Coast. They run out and they buy milk and bread. I don't know who likes milk sandwiches, but I don't know what the hell is up with that. So have all that stuff on hand. Have a nice freezer with food in it that'll last you a while. Have a backup generator to keep all your frozen food frozen, all your refrigerator stuff refrigerated, and so on and so forth. Have a barbecue, extra couple cans of propane or briquettes or whatever the hell you want. But if you are right along the water, none of this shit is going to help you. Leave the area. Move on. Go to a higher ground. Be safe. Then come back and fix the mess. But don't put yourself or your family in jeopardy. We got some, I don't know if I'm going to say this right. I'm sorry. Jakeem Mortis. Hopefully I said it right. If I didn't, I apologize. Thanks for showing up. Is it coming to New York? I don't know. It's showing the path is coming right through. It looks like it's going to hit the top of South Carolina, head up through North Carolina and into Virginia. But, you know, with the water being, I think it's 68 degrees right now, it is perfect weather for hurricanes. It's basically bath water out there. And it's getting, it was at 135. It is a category 4. It was showing as it hits land. And this all changes, you know, as they keep running through the programs. But it was like at 150 when it hits landfall. It will slow down once it hits landfall, but it's 150 miles an hour. Go get a piece of plywood and hold it up in a 15-degree weather and wind, and you'll see what 150 degrees will feel like times 100, basically. I do not think it'll hit both South Carolina and New York. No, they're not saying it's going to hit New York. I think the highest up it's saying is Virginia. Appreciate that. Thanks for subbing. But I cannot stress to you guys enough, if you're not prepared. Everybody knows that the hurricane comes every year, and let's just plan ahead. You know, a lot of us out here, we do prepping or whatever you want to call it, getting ready for whatever. And at the end, we're always laughing at those that didn't. Not so much laughing, but just being highly excited that we did prepare. Fog 360, thanks for showing up from the UK. So Fog 360 is safe right now. I got a vegetation fire at work, but I'm not at work, so it doesn't matter. And that's not in a good spot. So see how that is. You guys got any questions, comments? I know we got Tom O's up there. We got Daniel. Bobby's up there. Well, Bobby's Solar Homestead. He does a lot of preparing stuff, a lot of solar stuff. If you guys are interested, check out his channel. I have a feeling my flight will be canceled because I'm supposed to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday, so that's pretty much going to be canceled. So I either need to leave and go to work early, which I don't want to do, or I'm going to have to find a flight afterwards. But with that said, who cares? Let's save you guys. Those of you that are watching this, hopefully you're already prepared. If not, like I said earlier, if you live in North Carolina, South Carolina, or Virginia, go get some supplies if you don't have them already. Mortis says Hurricane Sandy was scary as shit. Yes, it was. All of them are scary, especially, you know, depending on the time of the day that it comes. If it's dark out, it makes it worse because you can't visually see all the stuff, debris flying around, and you're more likely to get whacked if for some reason you're outside, which you shouldn't be. You should be protected, but even better than that, you better go now, show dedication. I still got like 4 days off. See, you got me all screwed up, Daniel. You know, show that it's more important to be ready to go, especially at night. You want to, you know, you see those news reporters out there, and they put their lives on the line per se to show you what heavy winds look like and shit flying all over. But at the end of the day, there's got to be a better way to do that, right? But hey, they signed up for that job, so more power to them. But definitely be prepared. back to the hurricane stuff. You know, if you're just tuning in and you live on the East Coast, the Atlantic Ocean's getting angry at us, and it's sending a friend called Florence to kick our ass. So Hurricane Florence is basically hitting the Carolinas and up to Virginia. But yeah, 15 to 20 degrees rise in water. So not waves, but the actual rise of tide. If you're living in those lowland areas, you know, you could have some serious issues. Along with, like last night here, we had a torrential downpour of like 3 inches out of nowhere. There wasn't even anything. It's not tied into that hurricane. It's not anything. And I'm like, man, imagine this times 4 and then a bunch of wind. It's going to be pretty bad. So luckily around here, it's pretty dry. It's been dry. So it's not like the roots are real wet. And then once we get those winds, it's going to be, it's going to be knocking over a lot of trees. We'll probably get a lot of broken trees, but I don't know if we'll get the ones that just fall over because the root system didn't hold. But down there, I'm for sure they're going to get that. Yes, Pops is in a bad spot right now. Just hope you guys can deal with it right now. Yes, Pops is in a bad place. He does have the shop and the farm, so it's kind of his safe haven, his refuge. I've asked him before in the past. Last year when they had I can't remember what hurricane it was. Maybe it was 2 years ago. There was a nasty one that came in. And I told him and his family can come up here if they need to. Tom Olson. But other than that, that's about it. I mean, it's just a matter of trying to get these people to wake up. And they have to do this stuff every year. If they just moved there this year and never lived on planet Earth before, and they just landed and decided to live right there on the East Coast, I'll give them a pass. But even if you live anywhere in the United States on TV, you're going to see this shit every year. And when you move to the East Coast, you know that this will happen every year. And I'm exaggerating. I mean, it pretty much happens every year. Maybe not to certain magnitudes of this, but it always happens. It happens every year. It doesn't matter where you are. If you live somewhere near water on the ocean, anywhere in the United States, you're going to get something at some point in time. California, you're also going to get an earthquake. And then you're going to get the tsunami that comes. Is it a tsunami? Yeah. That basically brings the water as a kind of a tidal wave, if you want to call it. The coast is safer than Chicago. Everything is safer than Chicago. I would rather be at the coast of South Carolina with an umbrella than in Chicago with a machine gun. I still think it's safer. Let's see, but it will be drier. Yes, it will be a lot drier. So if you'd rather shoot with no rain gear on or have an umbrella in a storm, you guys pick which one's more dangerous. But at the end of the day, us men, we're trying to protect our homes, our families, and all that stuff. Make sure you make the right decision. Go get your family and yourself. And you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time. You don't need to buy a bunch of water right there. As you're heading out to your next location, hopefully somewhere west and on a mountain of some sort, yes, grab my tactical umbrella. That thing is badass, and I don't know what the hell I did with it. I lost it. So I'm a little sad right now, but thanks for reminding me I lost it. Head to higher ground. Be safe. Be smart. Take the precautions. Have all that stuff in place prior to another hurricane coming. Please, 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 please. Do it. Do not take anything you can get from Home Depot or from Walmart. Don't grab your TVs and all the stupid shit you can replace. Grab the stuff you need, insurance, pictures, all the stuff you cannot buy at the store. I'm running the same stuff through. So that's it. And if you guys are playing along, when this ends, comment below Hurricane Florence. Spell it right, huh? See you guys. Peace.